We are waiting for panel. Do. Inky eyes. We've got a couple more minutes. And it should start in a couple of minutes. Right? And it says 1 more minute, but I don't know. Okay. So the Sonic the Hedgehog channel isn't live, but Anime Expo's live, but they've got a football player walking around right now. Alright. Right, low. Right. So I don't want to switch things over. Notice the filming and photography. Okay, they are starting it. That's the wrong one. There we go. You should be able to hear that now.
Robinson. I will be your host today.
Oh,
so we can celebrate not just the fastest thing alive, but also the ultimate life form. Yeah.
Whoa! Panel is starting.
That's right. Today we'll be talking about everyone's
Panel is starting. Whoa!
Shadow the Hedgehog.
I am not in frame for my webcam. Panel is starting.
As some of you may know, he may not be just a hedgehog. Who exactly is the ultimate life form? What more can we learn about him? These are questions we will discover the answers to, not just in a new game coming out later this year, but also, you guys can cheer for the new game. Yeah. but also a brand new animated prologue from Studio Gigex. Give it up for them. You guys are going to love it. Okay, now let's get this panel started. Without further ado,
Let's go.
allow me to introduce our panelists.
Panel.
Our first one needs no introduction. He's a director, producer, designer, screenwriter, the head of Sonic Team, and co-creator of Shadow the Hedgehog.
Let me know how audio
Please
is for you, by the
welcome
way.
to the legend, Takashi Iizuka!
Whoa.
No less is legendary. Please welcome the voice of the Black Blur, the ultimate life form, Kirk Thornton!
Weird Kirk.
Next up, a legend in her own right,
The man who started the fact that Shadow was a weeaboo, likes coffee.
I can hear ITR.
You can hear. Good. I'm glad you can hear it.
And rounding out our panel, the incredible directors at Studio Gigex, Alan Wan, Christopher Luck, and Kevin Molina Ortiz. Okay, everybody, I'm just gonna wait for you guys to sit down, get comfy. How are we feeling today? How's Anime Expo treating you? Iizuka-san, I'll start with you.
I'm happy to be here, so thank you for coming.
Hello.
I'm
here.
glad
Did I
to
miss
talk
it?
about Shadow.
They
today.
just started it. They just went through intros. Do you want me to put audio for the TV? Because right now I have it going for my headphones.
Yeah, go through TV.
What's up?
Alright. We're gonna switch audio around, my good sir.
What is this again?
This is the Shadow the Hedgehog panel.
AX for like 5
And
years, but
we are going to be getting
bring me back.
a brand new animated prologue for Shadow for the Sonic Shadow Generations.
We're doing good. Shadow X. Oh, no. Sonic X Shadow Generation.
Yeah!
Full house. Glad to see you. Thanks for showing up.
Woo!
Apparently the guy hosting is a big fan of anime and is also a football player. Smuggler?
Is that what you said?
No, he's a fan of anime and also a football player.
Shadow fan for at least 1 year. 1 year? Okay. How about 5 years? Okay. 10 years? Wow. 20 years. Wow, look at that.
Okay, it's clear there's some Shadow fans here, but there might be more people. I didn't see everybody's hands, so let's maybe walk through Shadow's history for a bit. Yeah. Okay. Shadow the Hedgehog, also known as the Ultimate Life Form, was first introduced in Sonic Adventure 2 in 2001 and served as a rival to Sonic.
Sonic Adventure 2?
Yeah. Sonic Adventure 2 fans.
I will indeed.
My personal favorite.
Goes.
I will.
Later.
Sonic Heroes
Later.
in 2004.
Sonic Battle? We have Sonic
Battle
Battle
fans
fans
here.
here.
Sonic Battle is a good game and I wish they would remake it.
First standalone game in 2005.
Wow! Look at
First game I ever bought with my own money.
Outside of just the games, he made several appearances in various forms of Sonic media, including the IDW comics, comics readers in the house, the animated series Sonic X,
Sonic X and
Sonic Boom, and more recently, Sonic Prime.
Y'all should have cheered for Sonic Boom.
Making his live action debut
Right.
this year.
Yeah. He's been a
Been a fan favorite for many years and has been rival, dark hero, and occasional ally to Sonic and his friends. This year, being the year of Shadow, we'll be seeing more of his story in Sonic X Shadow Generation.
As we break this poor boy's psyche.
We're all here to learn more about Shadow today, right? There's some things you might not know. And who better to enlighten us about the ultimate life form than his father himself, Takashi Iizuka. Give it up.
I was like, you got Gerald Robotnik back from the dead?
Just a brief history of Shadow's appearance.
Do-do-do.
Now, what were his origins? What led to his creation? Okay, I think people know. はい、シャドウが誕生したのは1999年に開発がスタートしたソニックアドベンチャー2だったんですけども、その時にはソニックに匹敵するライバルを作ろうということで、最初は考えていたんですけども、開発チーム、私も一緒なんですけども、アメリカに渡米して、でアメリカでソニックアドベンチャー2を作ったんですけども、その時に
Translator!
スポーツとか、ダークヒーロー
I'm
が
a
人気だったんですよね。それのインスパイアを受けて、ライバルではなくてダークヒーローにしようということで、シャドウが誕生しました。So Shadow was really born in 1999 when we began development on Sonic
Okay,
Adventure.
there's your message.
Yeah.
In the beginning, we kind of
You gotta give him a minute.
rival characters.
Oh yeah, we got more of the art for Terios.
Character in this game. But at that time, the team flew over to America, and we started living and working in America. And when we got there, we realized dark heroes, heroes like Spawn, were really popular in America, and that really inspired us to make Shadow a different kind of character. And that's when we thought, we don't want him to be a rival of Sonic. We want him to be a dark hero. And that's really where Shadow was born, from an idea.
Yay, he's American!
It's really cool to have characters like Spawn.
Have you ever noticed that you can blow up the cop cars and the little guys that give you tickets in Adventure? And one specifically, I'm not sure about two. It's because they got annoyed about getting tickets at the parking meter.
But Izuka-san, so that's not true.
Supposedly.
That's not true. So I just want to clear that up. So I thought that too. But it's super cool that, like, it's not though. It's not though.
What's not true?
I don't know.
What were some of your inspirations about designing Shadow's his design and his personality? はい、もうここにもパネルが表示されてますけども、ソニックのダーク版ということで、最初はこういろいろバリエーションのデザインを考えたんですけども、これを当時サンフランシスコでフォーカステスト、一般の人たちを呼んでフォーカステストを行って、でその中でこう皆さんの一般の人たちの意見を聞きながら最終的なデザインを仕上げたんですけども、その時に今この中央の下にいる固めのこう切れたこれを我々の開発チームがテリオスと呼んでシャドウの次の候補だったデザインですね。So in the beginning, we had a lot of ideas, including into a dark Sonic character. That would be the shadow design. And what you're seeing here are a lot of these sketches that we had that we wanted to bring to a focus test in San Francisco to see what the average person would think about all these different designs. And I believe in the middle there's a character with like a damaged eye. That was the design of the character that the development team were calling Terios back in the day. で最終的には皆さんの知っている黒と赤のデザインになるわけですけども、この黒と赤のデザインっていうのは実はその日本の歌舞伎からインスパイアされたデザイン。So we did also want to choose kind of black and red as the theme colors for the character, and it was really inspired by the kabuki style of face paint, and that is part of the inspiration for Shadow. それと先ほどお話したこのテリオスっていうキャラクターなんですけども、この当時は残念ながらボツになってしまったシャドウの前のデザインなんですけど、このテリオスっていうのをこの10月に発売されるソニック X シャドウジェネレーションズのデラクセーションのスキンとして実装することを決定しましたので、このゲームでしか遊べないキャラクターだということで、皆さんご期待ください。So we do have the design for the Terios character, which was a concept design for the character that didn't make it all the way through. We ultimately went with the shadow design that everyone knows and loves. But coming out this fall, this October, in Sonic X Shadow Generations, we are also offering a skin to turn Shadow into Terios, so you can play as Terios inside of the game.
Very excited for that. I also appreciate that the skins we're getting currently are just like callbacks to other like Sonic designs.
It's really cool as a gigantic fan of Sonic the franchise and Shadows, like see artwork of the developmental stages of how Shadow came to be. Is there any significance to the name Terios? Why did you guys settle on that name? I have no idea.
don't think if it meant something. I think it's really cool
That you get to play as the materials in Generations. That's really cool. I'm excited for that. Now, Izuka-san, can you tell us what makes Shadow different from Sonic?
So based off his quick response, I feel like he understands English a lot better than he feels comfortable speaking it.
I mean, he's been responding so fast. I assume that from the get-go.
Yeah.
危うさを持つキャラクターなんですね。だから決してシャドウは正義のヒーローではない。ただ道端で困っている人がいても助けないっていう、そういう大きなソニックとシャドウの違いがあって、この性格の違い、完全に真反対なソニックとシャドウの性格に加えて、でシャドウはもう愛すべきマリアのために命がけでこの星を守る。
That was Thunder.
正義ではないけど、マリアが愛した星を守るっていうのが彼の一番の目的なので、
I'm gonna need you to protect me. If the thunder knocks out our electricity, I'm gonna be sad. I'm just like, let me watch my
So
video.
to sum it up in really one word, I'd say, Dark Hero is what really defines Shadow and makes it different from Sonic. So Sonic will be a very positive, cheerful, character that's going to go out there and do whatever it takes to bring peace to the world. He wants to see justice kind of played out. He's very much a true hero, but Shadow is more of a dark hero. He's going to do whatever it takes to get.
Sonic's also the kind of person who would snarkily go, oh yeah, see, I have permission, I have like this permit, it says I do whatever I want, and then speed away.
No. It would start out like that. It says,
it really defines him as a character differently from Sonic.
I don't know, he do some type of lame pun.
He would do a pun. Sonic does like puns.
Yeah. So it would start out exactly like you said, but then it would end on some type of weird lame pun that I can't think of.
Really, the truth in him as a character. But Shadow, he wants to protect the planet because Maria, who is so close to, loves the planet. And so he's doing it out of this love and connection with Maria that he will also do whatever it takes to save the planet. So they're both very much heroes, but it's that dark hero element that really makes Shadow cool and unique.
It's also Shadow's motivation and Sonic's motivation.
Yeah, I think the best kind of anti-hero is somebody who has something important that they fight for, because it really gives them a lot of layers. And Shadow's relationship with Maria is a really, really
We traumatize this poor boy by every so often just like, hey, remember when your best friend got shot?
So I can speak for many of us when I say we've all been waiting for years for new pieces of Shadow's past and his backstory. So why are we telling his story now in Sonic X Shadow Generations? はい、皆さんもご承知の通りですね、今年の12月にいよいよシャドウが出演する映画が公開されます。で、この映画のタイミングでより世界中の人々にシャドウの魅力を知ってもらおうということで、今回ソニック X シャドウジェネレーションズを発売することに至りました。なので、もともとソニックジェネレーションズっていうのはソニックを知らない人たちにクラシックソニック、ガンソニックの良さを知ってもらおうっていうゲームだったので、今回のシャドウを世界中の人に知ってもらおうっていうのがいいフォーマットだったんじゃないかなと思ってます。で、シャドウといえばやっぱり悲しいバックグラウンドのストーリーで、今回のこのゲームでもそのストーリーがかなり力を入れてますので、ご期待ください。So as you know, this December we will see Shadow featured in movie 3. It should be a really great movie. And in order to really introduce everyone to Shadow before we get to the movie, we wanted to release something that could really do that, would be a good vehicle for that. And that's where we thought of Sonic X Shadow Generations. Originally, Sonic Generations was a game that was meant to introduce everyone to Sonic the Hedgehog. So it had classic Sonic in there, it had modern Sonic in there, and it was really like all these great moments from Sonic's legacy in one title. And by adding Shadow into that package, we now are able to introduce Shadow as a character inside of that same game, alongside Sonic.
Are we gonna get one with Knuckles that features Knuckles Chaotix?
Background story.
There's a giggle. There's a giggle.
Portraying that in Shadow Generations side of the games. We really hope everyone enjoys the game and enjoys the story in Sonic X Shadow Generations. Well, I'm really excited. Thank you so much, Yuzuka-san, for your incredible insight into Nato. I've been a huge fan of Sonic for many years, and it's been one of the greatest honors of my life to be able to sit here and speak with you directly about Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic. I also think it's the perfect time to show the world Shadow's charm and story, and who better to help us do that than our voice actors?
Is the thing frozen? Okay, no. There it is. I was like, you've been on the same screen for a minute.
Past follows him everywhere he goes. With all these new elements of Shadow being revealed, that we have upcoming invasion, I like to ask our actors who are breathing new life into these scenes and into these moments, their thoughts and experiences with them. Kirk, you've been voicing Shadow for years now. Do you do anything new when exploring this, like, previously unseen side of Shadow?
I'm learning more today than I have learned in years of Shadow. I'm getting so much stuff here. It's amazing. I wish I'd been able to sit down with Izuka-san sooner. Sooner. I speak for a living. Thank you very much. No, I mean, yeah. Because over the years, Shadow has always been very cool and unflappable, and recently we've been discovering different sides of Shadow with the Twitter takeovers and like the Lego commercials. I mean, yeah, Lego commercial. So good. I've seen it for that, I think. I've seen different sides of Shadow, but as far as the game goes, the cool, unflappable side, there's always been something underneath it, and finally we're starting to pull out all those things and figure out what is driving that cool, what's driving that unflappable, what's brewing under the surface. So that's what we've been getting with this game. You see, and the team has decided to let a little bit of that emotion out at times, and it was a lot of fun doing this game because playing down, then all of a sudden being able to erupt and let some of that emotion out that's been brewing underneath all this time.
That's so cool. I really love sort of the methodical, artistic approach you take to Shadow about the emotions and how much to show and how little to show. And there's so much, I'm sure, new stuff in this game that like reveal more sides to it that I'm like really excited to see. So from the new things that you've seen, have you changed your understanding of the character at all? After all these years, is there anything new that popped up during your performances for the
Yeah, absolutely. As I was mentioning, up till recently, I hadn't gotten to explore his history. I hadn't gotten to explore what happened with Maria and how he was created and his whole mission in life, and that is flushed out in this game. And it's been a real team effort. It's all the people at Sega. It's Jack Fletcher, the director, who's incredible, and we've all done this exploration together to try to find it. And what's really cool is that even though there'll be like 8-9 people on a session, and they're all throwing out what they think we should be doing, what path we should be taking, and we all kind of agree, yes, we're taking this path, and yet, what's really wonderful is that sometimes after we do all this work, and the animation gets done, and they send it back to us, and we go, oh shoot, we missed something, and the Sega has given us the license to go back and go, yes, this is how we fix it, and because it's expensive to go back into the studio and redo something, but they're taking the time and giving us the opportunity to go back and get it right. Wow.
As big of a fan as I've been of this franchise for so many years, this might be like my first time sort of hearing about like how a typical session would go, or like the creative process from like animation to voice to screen, then corrections. It's really like fascinating, and it's really cool to hear like how particular and how specific and how careful and precious we are about this franchise and the characters and all the love and work that goes into it, and it's really clear when you see it.
on the screen. It's so clear. So it's super cool how much time and attention goes into Shadow. And like, it's cool that the events of this game, I'm sure, alter how like you've played Shadow, and probably have altered how you're playing Shadow, like moving forward, right? So that's super awesome. But I want to take this over to Stephanie. Yeah. Stephanie, Maria is so integral and so important to Shadow's story. She's such a beloved character.
Oh, that's a cute frame.
Did you hear that?
It's really hard to see it.
Oh, yeah.
No, don't say she looks like
So I'm mostly just listening.
because we know. How did you
Step into her character? How did you find her voice?
I really, thankfully, had, our voice director, Jack Fletcher, and then prior a lot of people. There was a lot of faces on the Zoom call when we were recording, and they had so much insight, and they helped guide, it guided me in terms of, like, performance. But I think for me, I was, like, mostly focusing on things like her age and then also her, like, illness, right? Because the illness can be, like, a real trap. Because she has these excited emotions and these concerned emotions, or, I'm not giving my story, there's certain things that happen, but, like, you're not always like, I'm way too sick, like, you have to kind of, like, gauge when that comes through and when it's not appropriate, when the emotion is so big that it kind of, like, overrides whatever, like, physical weakness she might be feeling. And like Kurt said, we actually, which doesn't happen a lot, I don't know if you guys know this, like, we record other video games, it really doesn't happen a lot. You go in there.
That's really nice art. Apparently this was made in January this year. Yeah, so I wonder if this is gonna be the style.
So it's the cleanup new design, or is this the classic concept art?
Well, this is from Adventure 2. This is from Shadow, and this is it's dated this year. So I believe this is the style that she's gonna be animated in for that short that we're gonna see in a minute.
That was easy for me.
You do play
A lot of like very sweet.
Like, I don't know if you can tell this, but like, I believe, what's really funny, I have a really good friend, she's complete opposite of me, we're best friends. She's like, all humans are bad. Of course this person's missing. And I'm like, no, everyone has a capacity for change. I believe not just to be here. Here's the thing, I really do believe that. So even like when the world is going crazy and you're seeing horrible videos of people, and I'm really like, everyone can change. Like I really believe that. So yeah.
So it sounds like you were perfect. You were like the perfect choice for the role. And from what I know about like you as an artist, like when you were talking about like with the specificity and things like that, you were very specific and like juggling. I'm sure like juggling like the illness and like how to weave that into your performance was something super specific. And so I really am like in awe of like how you can do that. I'm sure it'll like give her a lot of really like nuance, which I'm looking forward to seeing. Was there any like challenges about balancing those emotions, the physicality, like in the performances, and like how did you explore like Maria as a character alongside that?
Yeah, definitely. I think that was the hardest thing. It's like balancing like the illness and the emotional moments. And honestly, I relied on the team to really guide me because they had a much clearer vision than I did in terms of like how the scenes were playing out and what the moments needed. In terms of the pressure, I'm a little bit of a newbie to this whole universe. I had no clue until when they said that I was going to be on this panel, and I started getting text messages from people like telling me like how important this role is, and don't mess it up. And I mean, by then, I already did it, So I was like, oh gosh, I'm so glad I didn't know, because I think if I knew, I would have so much pressure, And luckily I just could just be in the world, listen to the direction, and you know, without having to be like, oh no, don't mess it up, don't mess it up.
That's something we always feel whenever we do anything. It's always like, but I'm ruining this. I know a lot of people like this thing. You know? I'm sure you killed it. I'm sure you did amazing. Oh wow, I should have said that when it came to Maria, right? Okay, Kirk, Stephanie, from each of your perspectives, how would you guys describe the relationship between Shadow and Maria? I know. Get that.
They pulled out the Shadow and Maria watching space.
To speak in actors' terms, Maria is my super objective. She is my reason for everything I do. So yeah, she does everything, and so I was created to protect her. And when I fail that mission, it devastates me. Or Shadow. Devastates Shadow. You're in it. So that's why he dedicates his life to protecting Earth because of that. So she just everything that the Shadow does driving force. Yeah, complete driving force behind his life.
Okay, so in my mind, I was thinking that I was like, she grew up very isolated. She had like nobody, you know, and other than Shadow. And the thing that I could relate to is that like during the pandemic when we were alone in our houses, I had my dog, and I'm not to like interject. This is so weird to say, but my dog is also black and reddish tan. So, and my dog's super sweet, but he also gets a little too aggressive when trying to protect me. See, and so like, it's just a parallel. But I do think that like, you know, I'm the driving force. I ground him. You know, he brings him back to like the less rabid stage.
Right,
you know, when it's worked up. But yeah, that's how I kind of like I relate to that.
Yeah, but I don't sound like. She kind of sort of operates as like his moral center, right?
Yeah, totally, like moral compass.
Like Shadow is this incredibly powerful, you know, like being, and that power, if in the wrong hands or with the wrong moral center, can go out of control.
Right, unleashed.
Yeah. And so Maria sort of like grounds him.
Yeah, like brains him.
Yeah. Do you guys have a similar relationship? Like, yeah, who's the moral center here between the two of you? It's perfect. Amazing. I really love how in depth everyone's answers are. Like as an actor myself, and as an artist, I like it's really cool hearing how it works, how you work, character work in the movie. So that's super cool. Maria gives Shadow purpose and direction, and I'm sure they both are each other's only friend. Their bond is integral to their characters as well as the story. So speaking of that bond, we are incredibly excited to show you that bond in action.
Are we gonna get the thing?
In motion. We have
Wait, I've seen that art.
Yeah, this is art from Sonic's channel that was made a couple years ago.
Oh, here's the animation scene.
Should be the key to all manner of medicine.
Right?
For a second, I thought they were playing the Neo song. No, the song.
I'm just so happy to spend time with you here while you both research.
Something's exploding.
Damn, that's 3D. I just realized this is 3D. It's not 3D animation. Well,
Oh, it's ML! From Sonic fucking Battle! Oh shit!
they're making him part of his origin story?
Gerald was researching ML, but ML was made by the Echidna civilization. Way back in the day. We haven't seen ML since like Sonic Chronicles.
Just wait here. I'll be back. I promise.
Super speed.
And that's how the first mission starts.
And he left her in like that room where they watch the stars at.
Feels responsible.
ML. Never seen ML in a while.
Wow. Wow.
Is this the only clip we're getting?
Yeah, I think it is.
I think it is.
I would give out.
It says 3 episode prologue animation coming later this fucking fall.
So they're saying that ML's now officially part of Shadow's origin story?
ML's always been a part of Shadow's origin story. It was hinted at in Sonic Battle. It hinted out again in Chronicles.
ML is always part of Knuckles' backstory.
He's a part of Knuckles too. It's a thing that kind of connects Shadow and Knuckles. So ML was made by the ancient Echidna civilization. Gerald, as he was like looking for ways to cure his daughter and stuff, he explored the ancient Echidna civilization and found him out, was probably researching him, but also saw that mural that you see in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. That's actually Supersonic with the Master Emerald, and then there's another one where Supersonic's fighting Chaos. And because of the way Supersonic looked, it kind of informed how he made Shadow look in that mural. So, yeah. ML has been a part of Shadow's backstory, but it's not really been explored as much. No, what it was is they, you know how Amy tells fortunes? It was a prophecy.
Oh.
Magical, fun little prophecy.
So, in a way, Shadow is a copy.
Animated episodes different from the animation.
No.
But he's a copy of someone who didn't exist yet. So technically, he's the original because he was made before
Yeah.
Sonic existed.
He's made up of like, yeah. And I'm just like, shit.
He specifically asked for something that's unique and a little bit different, departure of the past iterations. And so Sega had to kind of envision something that's a bit edgier, something that's across
Rocket Attack.
Western animation. And the three of us here all on the rise of the TMNT.
TMNT.
And so we felt very confident that we can do
do
this.
this. To make something real and yeah. So when we but anyways, so we received this really great script written by Ian Flynn, and
Yeah, because Ian Flynn's gonna be like, I swear, Ian Flynn's really good with a story around, but he's got like, probably like a little timeline sticky note of things and like,
so yeah, we were
with strings and little pins that goes, this connects to here, this connects to there.
Oh, the freaking detective board.
Yeah, he's got one of those, I'm pretty sure.
Yarn.
Because he's just like, what has Sega done before? How does this all relate to such and such?
So he's based on the FBI watch list. You know, the FBI watches anyone who suddenly increases their increase of power purchases. Specifically red. It's like, hold up, is that investigative red yarn?
I know, like, they just have access to, like, all of our internet history, and every once in a while they're just like, why are you looking up all this stuff? And every once in a while you're just like, I know, I'm a horror writer, I'm just a writer,
Yeah.
I'm not a killer.
And sometimes you'll click on something, not sure what it is, and then it's like, you've been flagged for, whoa, I'm not into this, I didn't know that's what I clicked on. Like, you should make the thumbnail more specific.
into animation. Like, was there anything like kind of challenging or that you found about that, like surprisingly?
So I'll speak from like the more emotional standpoint. Like all of them, Shadow's very guard brooded. I say scared. But he's also one that harbors a lot of three dimensions. So as such, like during the story process,
He's emotional and very emo.
he thought it was a great opportunity to like reveal a more personal side of Shadow that's rare. It's something you feel the audience has been kind of wanting to see for a very long time.
Dude. I want the Gerald notebook, but I would have to buy a physical copy for the PlayStation 5. Yeah.
Yeah, so for his like more tangible aspects of his visual persona on screen, a lot of his powers and abilities, you know, you play them in game, you see them in cutscenes, but how would they look in a cinematic representation? And so the expansion on that was essentially our approach was to ask ourselves the question of like, you know, how is the air displaced when Shadow exits a room super quickly? What does it sound like when his boots activate? Is it automatic? Is it sensed from the friction or from the speed? Does it create heat? All of those really like intricate questions helped us structure and design a new sort of in-depth take on what you see on screen.
Yeah, because you gotta consider all those things, because it's just like, what kind of sound effects are we gonna need? What kind of visual effects? That's very important. You would,
You can
Sweepy.
see it, right? Like when you ran
Are you waiting for the panel to end so you can go back to playing Mario?
A little bit. I kind of saw what I wanted to see.
like
It's
the
that
details and the emotion.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
You can feel it in every.
Well, I can go back to watching this with like my headphones, and you can turn on Mario.
Clearly was placed to
Yeah.
the emotions of Shadow and Rand and their story.
If anything else pops up of interest, I'll let you know.
All of you wanted to convey about these characters and this story.
Yeah, so I'll speak on it listening. Like the playing moments and their camera difference in more like
This one, headphones.
one
There you go. You can switch to it whenever you want. Oh, you need me to switch.
Well, as we've said quite a bit on stage, the
Thank you for loving me, baby.
I love you very, very much.
it's something we really want to put a lens on because it's
Love you
a
too.
more cinematic tone. The idea is to make sure that it not only motivates your character, but you have to ask
Oh
yourself,
shit! What game does like?
you know, how does a character react to a decision? Or
And I'm
to a
gonna make
decision
it
presented to him
smaller.
based on his trauma, based on his past. And so we directed our board artists to really focus in on the subtext, the subtle acting. Shadow's
Turn it
more
down.
than just a grimace and a cool
Yeah, I'm gonna turn it down so I can focus more on
accent
my
to
panel.
add to that helps
My
define it more than
nerdiness.
that. Something that helps communicate this
Oh, were you able to land properly on the bomb, or did you just give up?
feeling of
I
what
was
we
able
have
to.
this
It took off side.
Okay.
Wow.
Take a look at Booster's family portraits in order from oldest to young.
And I'm sure, like, with all these elements put together, the direction, the animation, the acting, it sort of serves, like, giving multiple layers to something that, like, a deeper layer than maybe even, like, an audience may understand at first. Like my understanding of Shadow may be just sort of this moody, scowly, individual. You peel back those layers into his past and how he really feels and give him like a lot more emotion and dynamics, and it creates a very nuanced character, and so it just makes me really excited to watch the prologues. My jaw, and y'all jaw too, dropped when I saw the Gizoid, right? Like that was crazy. Like, so it's clear there's gonna be like a lot of like lore, like deep lore in these episodes. So what was it like introducing like all these new aspects of Shadow's story to everyone, and like kind of like fitting that in the greater like Sonic mythos, the greater universe? Was it and like, because like me, was there any times you guys fanboyed and what you guys had got to do? You know.
Yeah, so I mean, when we first got the script, I was like, you know, oh, there's so much lore. And then we started doing all the Wikipedias and all the fandoms. And the more we dwelled into Shadow's lore during pre-production, we actually realized, like, wow, there's a lot of fascinating concept twists and turns. There's so much to explore, you know. And it actually got us quite excited because it was, like, really deeper than I thought originally. So, you know, as such, naturally, we took inspiration from, like, Evangelion and then FLCL.
Oh wow, they took inspiration from Evangelion.
Evangelion specifically is like excellent with regards to visual storytelling, with like still or static compositions, through a lot of use of unconventional cropping and symbolic use of view, which we felt was a really good match for this iteration.
Yeah, this type of visual storytelling that has like that more cinematic, more sophisticated tone, you take everything you've seen from games, like everything you've seen in Shadow's sort of lore and history that's been established in the franchise. And you have to ask yourself, like, what does this look like in this more psychologically complex iteration of the character? So even if there are familiar moments, it's portrayed in such a different way that something that was familiar may feel new. And so there was a lot of moments of excitement from the whole team for that.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. I am equally as excited. I think it's really cool. You can tell when like love is poured into something, especially if you're a fan of it. That was incredibly insightful. Thank you, Alan, Christopher, Kevin. I can't wait to see all three. I am gonna stay plugged. Thank you so much. Yes. And everyone, please stay tuned. Stay tuned into Sega and their channels for more information on when the prologue episodes will be out. But to show our thanks for everyone who's in the audience today, you should already have your exclusive posters. Yeah, posters, everybody, we were good. But if you don't, please see the staff at the back entrance. If you don't have your poster, please see them.
Everyone who attended got an exclusive poster for the event. That's nice.
We wanted to show some love to our Sonic community and our Shadow community and answer a few community questions that were submitted earlier this spring. And they're community Q&A, so yeah. Our first question is from @Zephyr's Sword. Their question is, I don't know if it's going to come on screen, but their question is, if Sonic likes chili dogs, what does Shadow like? Coffee beans? Like
yeah,
straight?
Right. Yeah.
Surely something to rival Sonic, right? Kirk, do you agree with coffee beans, or do you have another answer?
Well, I got something else. I mean, yes, he does love coffee beans.
Coffee?
But the chili dog's kind of it's junk food, and so he is a hedgehog, so it would have to be something kind of junky, but something very particular to him.
Right.
I think it would be a version of a jalapeno popper.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It would be a jalapeno popper because that's kind of spicy. But in order to darken it up, you know how they got the cream cheese inside there?
Right.
To add a little sophistication and a little darkness to it, you'd have to have just a little layer of caviar in that cream cheese on the jalapeno popper.
That caviar jalapeno popper.
Yeah.
That's the most cursed thing.
Some restaurant now needs to make that and call it the Shadow.
The Shadow.
Yeah.
I wonder, like, Sonic would, like, not understand, right? Like, that makes no sense to eat. Hey, Izuka-san.
Yeah.
How accurate are these answers?
I don't think he doesn't like.
What about the coffee bean?
Yeah, but I heard from Shadow that he loves black coffee.
Broccoli?
Wow.
Broccoli?
No, broccoli, black coffee.
Oh, black coffee.
Yeah.
Black coffee. That's very him.
Oh, okay.
Black coffee.
There you go. I was about to have to change my whole character.
I can see the fan art now. Shadow of the coffee mug. The next question is from Candy Pirate. At Candy with 2 eyes Pirate. This question is for Mr. Izuka. During the battle against Final Hazard in Sonic Adventure 2, Shadow ponders out loud that Sonic might be the real ultimate life form. What made Shadow associate Sonic with this title near the end? And remember, Shadow gets amnesia almost right after this. So does he remember ever telling Sonic? Does Sonic remember? Like, I don't know.
そのシーンっていうのは最後のファイナルリザードをスーパーシャドウとスーパーソニック2人でこう倒したシーンの後なんですけども、スーパーシャドウはその時にこう力尽きて、最後こう地球に落ちていくっていう時にソニックに対してお前が究極生命体なのかもしれないなって言うんですけど、それはシャドウが命が尽きると自覚したからそう認識したんであって、結局彼は生きてたなので いやいやいや、やっぱりソニックじゃなくて、俺こそが俺こそが究極生命体だということで今なってます。
So yeah, in that scene we have Super Sonic and Super Shadow both fighting to defeat the final hazard, and you know, in that moment, Shadow is kind of out of energy. He's falling to Earth. He feels defeated, but Super Sonic is not defeated. And so in that moment, he thinks maybe Sonic is the ultimate life form, but in the end, he doesn't die, and so he changes his mind and says, "Actually, no.
Never mind,
I am
it's
the ultimate
me
life
again."
form."
I love that. That's actually a good answer. That makes sense. That makes sense. I love how he wakes up, he's like, never mind, it's actually me. Yeah, I knew it. It was me the whole time.
Yeah, I was just kidding.
Our final question is from @pink_rose. What does Shadow like to do as a relaxing hobby? Does Shadow relax? Is Shadow capable of relaxing?
Oh, I think absolutely.
Yeah? He relaxes?
Yeah.
I'm wondering. I was like, I don't know. He doesn't seem very relaxed.
Well,
what would he do? What would he do?
I think he might do Tai Chi.
Okay.
Really, really fast.
Really fast.
So that he starts here.
And then ends there.
And it's like, so what'd you think of the routine?
Right.
You can't even see it. It's so
right.
fast.
I know that Maria and Shadow, their dream was to go to Earth, and I think that could be kind of relaxing for them, right? If that were to happen with the two of them, what do you guys think they would do?
I feel like it would have to be something that they can't do on the ark, right?
Right.
So go swimming, because I don't think there's a pool.
A beach.
Or a beach vacation. I think Maria would want to hang out with the animals.
Izuka's like, no.
No. She would just eat ice cream and binge Netflix.
Yeah. I was like, oh, maybe ice cream, you know? Amazing. Well, we are almost at time. Thank you so much to our panelists, Izuka-san, Kurt, Stephanie, Alan, Chris, Kevin, all of you. We love you. You have all been an excellent, excellent crowd. You guys are incredible. Thank you. Please follow the Sonic social channels. Stay up to date with Sonic X Shadow Generations. Don't forget to stop by the Sega booth in the Exhibitors Hall at booth 3720 to pick up some exclusive Shadow merch they have this weekend. There's a cool little pin. There's a couple pins. There's some posters, some shirts. If you're excited to see Shadow's story like I am, Sonic X Shadow Generations will be out October 25th, 2024. That's actually my birthday. It's available for pre-order right now on all platforms. The digital deluxe edition will include that very cool Tyrio skin that Izuka-san mentioned earlier. If you sign up for the Sonic X Shadow Generations newsletter, you'll receive the Sonic Jam Legacy skin. Yeah, when Sonic X Shadow Generations launches. Now, before we say goodbye, I see people leaving. Don't leave yet. Yeah? Can we do a Chaos Control? I brought the Chaos Emeralds as well. Can we please? Can we please? Okay. That's so cool. Put the emerald down? Did you guys want to hold an emerald?
Yeah, sure.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, I'll give you are the master.
Okay.
I want it. You want to?
Sure.
I'll give you the green one. The
All
other
right,
green
cool.
one. Emeralds for everybody. Emerald. Emerald. Oh, look, you get one too.
Sure, all right.
Yeah. Wait, actually, all right. Yeah, you got Okay, and I want to take a picture. All right, I do. This is super cool. Okay. Chaos Blast. Instead, Chaos Control. Control. That's the main one. That's the main one. Okay. Okay, on 3, we're going to do Chaos Control, okay? Everyone, you guys want to look? Huh? Here? Or, all right, yeah. Okay, 1. Wait, how do I do this holding this mic?
Go on, figure it out.
1, 2, 3.
Chaos Control!
Thank you so much, you guys.
Alright, so it seems like the expo is over now. Well, not over, but the shadow panel is over. They ended it with them doing chaos control. Yeah.
Chaos control. Turn off the lights. Get the fuck out of here.
Mm.
Whoa, chugga chugga. This is my personal railway. Huh? Mike, it's you again. I'm amazed you made it this far. Yes, quite amazing you are. Since you're here, maybe you could clear up something for me. My bride-to-be is chanting, is she showing her happiness? Hey, wait a second. Maybe Mario is another guy. What if you're this Mario she keeps talking about? Trying to take my pride away? Why don't you take this instead? Hey, that's a slow bomb. Jenna, it's finally leveling up. Genoblast. He learned a new move, Genoblast. This beam hits all foes. Build power to energize.
Yeah.